Okay, getting ready to start second part of this trip. I've used the bathroom. I went ahead and ate my lunch. I have a little sandwich here. And also checked my cameras back in the hotel room and done a few little things. Not exactly sure how long I've been here for. The car is ready to go. It is now down, we're at 215 miles of range, 83% right now. And it's charging at 37 kilowatts an hour. So, once it gets over a certain part, it drops its speed down. It is a 250 kilowatt supercharger. But it does drop it off. I'm getting ready to unplug. But right now from the map data, the initial map data is completely wrong. We're in a parking lot. There is no way to go left. There's no road behind us. That looks like it's looking at the road in the homes behind us and not the gas stations map. Like I say, it'd be nice if this map data was accurate, especially since there is a supercharger here. In my personal opinion, every place there's a supercharger, there should be 100% accuracy of the maps of that parking lot. But there's not. I'm going to unplug and I'm going to see what will happen once I engage it. Is it going to go to the left where it can't go anywhere? Or what? Let me throw this trash away and unplug it. Let's see. I almost forgot. I need to clean the bugs off. Luckily, this Alice supercharger gives you a squeegee to use. This supercharger is at a Circle K here in Alice, so it's probably just the Circle K that's providing that. But it'd be nice if more of them would do that. The squeegee to clean the windshield is really nice. My question for you is, if you have a Tesla, the roofs are glass, do you use the squeegees on the roof as well to clean? I didn't, but it just dawned on me. It'll make quick work of that. Just got through charging. I unplugged. It came to $16.80. Not bad. I mean, the rates are higher now. And like I say, we're going to go ahead and try engaging and see what happens. You can see the parking lot. You can see the high fidelity or the showing of the parking spaces. I can't really choose a new parking space since we're already parked. But we're going to go ahead and engage. See if it goes to the left or the right. And it's going to the right. this truck is backing up, but okay, it's on. Okay. So it did stop for that truck backing up. So even though the navigation was showing a weird route here, it is figuring its way out of this parking lot. Now the question is, will it continue? Okay, it's going to turn right here, so it's going to use the light, which is good. So I have not touched the brake, the accelerator, done any steering. Now it's going to move all the way over to the far left lane to turn. It's trying to figure it out. It's staying in the middle lane, but it has the turn signal on. Technically it should be in the far left lane, but there's no other vehicles, so I will allow that. It's okay. Now I always hate this little section up here. If I recall, it's a pretty bad railroad track there. Road gets kind of really rough in that area. I personally would go somewhere over here, then cut over. And we got a scam caller. Let's see who this is. Hello?
Hi, am I speaking with the customer?
Yes.
It's great. Sir, I see her that you had your business listing registered in Google, which has made the computer. Do you remember doing that?
Yes. Hello?
Just requesting a compliment for a visit. The server and functioning no. Have you been noticed?
Very bad for the connection. Their system doesn't work fast. Okay.
Well, have you been noticing, sir? Any calls coming from the listing or not much of a difference?
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, the analyst we're going to review your whole so that
Here we got a really bad rubber track here on this turn here. So it's gonna get up here and it's actually going nice and slow. And it's a really rough intersection. Yes. I don't know what the hell they're saying. And they hung up. Yeah, some of these scammers, their systems don't work too well, and they really need to block them. It's non-stop, all the sometimes when I'm bored, it's fun to mess with them. But yeah, it did a pretty good job coming across that railroad track. It's a pretty rough railroad track there on that hill. Earlier versions would just go way too fast. But I don't know if there's any speed that is slow enough for that railroad track. This little town could use some improvements. I thought it was kind of strange them putting one here in Alice because it's kind of off the beaten track. But I don't know how they justified it or how they chose it. It is an older town. It looks like it's, in my opinion, it looks like it's a dying town. No offense to anybody who might live out here, but just looking at the number of rundown businesses, it doesn't look like it's a booming town. Maybe that's why they were trying to get the supercharger here, to get more people into this town. But, you know, little Bel Air Motel. A Sunset Motel. A couple little motels. going to see any more speed limit signs. We're not on the interstate yet. We're just... Well, correction. I understand why that the Supercharger in Alice now. This is the future I-69 corridor. So they are expecting to eventually make this the continuation of Interstate 69. So in the future, yeah, it may become a very busy area. Will it bring any life to the town? Hopefully, but we have a lot of small towns that are just kind of dying in the United States. And it's hard to figure out what to do. I mean, the world has changed so much. Automation's changed so much. Now it's saying we're in a 70. I'll have to look back. I don't recall seeing a 70 mile per hour speed limit sign. I don't know if it showed up on the visualizations. We have 2 hours to get to my destination. And after that, I'm going from San Antonio to Austin, or north of Austin, actually. And I don't know what this car is doing. I guess he's taking this little road where we're taking the ramp. I do have it on chill. If it was in assertive, it probably would have passed him. Assertive or average, it seems to pass more than chill. Windshield, but I still hear bugs hitting me, so hopefully it will be stay clean for a while. We're still on US Highway 281. Continuing the second part of my journey. Video, the seatbelt restraint fault, that is for the, and there goes into the left-hand turn only lane, which is a no-no. I just use the turn signal until to get over. So yeah, that is actually not fixed. It didn't do it before, but it's doing it on this stretch of road for some reason. Why get into a left-hand only turn lane? I don't know. So I'm gonna have to try to stay in the right-hand lane. So yeah, that's not fixed. And that sounds about right. I think in the previous video, it was in this area that it kept doing that. And ignored all the other ones before this. Why is it doing it here? It has to be something in the nav data. I don't know. It makes no sense. And it sounded, I didn't look at the screen, but it sounded like it turned the turn signal on to get into that left-hand lane. I didn't disengage, I just gave it a different turn signal, and it obeyed that and got out of there. would have let it go? Would it have broke? Would it have slowed down enough and made the turn? I don't know. I've never let it go because I'm busy trying to get somewhere. But if somebody wants to try that, just go to the Alice Supercharger and head to San Antonio and let full self-driving do what it wants to do, see what happens. I would be kind of worried because if it doesn't slow down enough, you'd be going into the grass unless it jerks back into the lane. Make sure there's no vehicles behind you. Kind of like a good comparison between the two trips. Tell it to get into the other lane here to pass this vehicle and just hope it doesn't jump into another left-hand turn like it is doing. Hello. Again, same thing. Why? Is it going to do it again? Ignored that one. Now I could put it on minimal lane changes. Maybe that might prevent it. I don't know. Here we come up to another one. Let's see what happens. It's ignoring it. That's good. Now the other one, the last one, it really shouldn't have jumped into it because I only hit the turn signal in the right-hand lane. So it should have only went over one lane, not tried to go over two lanes or make a turn. I'm getting ready to, okay. So it's not doing it for these past few. And like I say, it was always just every now and then. Not consistently. But yeah, that problem still persists in some areas like this. Here we are coming up to another one. It's not going to do it. Coming up to a rest area. It's not switching to that. Or parking area, usually for the semi-truck drivers. now and then, and here we go again as I'm talking. Get over, get over, get over, get over, get over. Braking, I mean, yeah. So, why is it getting in that lane? There's nothing in the navigation telling it to get over or to turn. So at this little stretch of the road, I have to try to make sure it stays in the right-hand lane. Otherwise, it's going to keep randomly jumping into left-hand only turn lanes. And this has to be a navigation issue for some reason, but how in the world is that becoming? I mean, unless you're going to be turning somewhere, why would that be showing up in the navigation like that? To be able to report issues without disengaging like we used to be able to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get back over in that lane and let it stay in that lane to see if it jumps over again. If it jumps over again, I'll definitely disengage so I can send a report. Here we have a left-hand turn only lane. It seemed like it almost wanted to do it. I felt a little nudge of it doing, trying that, but it didn't. It is a 2-lane road. There's nothing saying it's supposed to be 3-lane. Here we are, comes another one. And it had a couple little nudges, like it was really thinking about it. Here we have another one. So for these, it's not doing it. Now these are purely turnaround ones. I don't know if those last ones were just had a road that it could have gone straight on. I don't know. Like this one here is another turnaround one. This one's a turnaround as well. skies are kind of gray and overcast like this, it seems to think it's raining. Here we are coming up to another left-hand lane. Will it try to jump into it? No. Whenever I'm waiting for it, it really doesn't seem to want to do it. Here we have a nice clear one coming up. And it's not road. So maybe it's the ones that connect to the roads. Flying embers. I'd have to look for that. Some drink. Hello. Hello. 75 mile per hour speed limit sign, still not visualizing. Random, but I don't think random. I think if I drive that exact same route, it'll try to do the same thing, the exact same ones every time. Which would indicate a navigation data issue. If I had a destination set, would it still do it? That's a different question. That would tell you if it's a mapping data issue or an actual just nav data issue. The reason why I say that was years ago, or last year, with full self-driving, the car behaved differently in different areas depending on where I was going to, and depending on if I told it where I was going to. In other words, if I told it to the courtyard, it will go do a certain thing in a certain area. But if I tell it to go to the on the border restaurant, which is in the courtyard, or in the Marriott, skip that. Go to the Marriott or the on the border restaurant, its routing data is slightly different for each one of those, even though they're the exact same address. And it would do kind of dumb things, or used to do kind of dumb things, depending on which one I was going to. But if I just drive that way without telling where to go and let it drive, it wouldn't do those dumb things. Now, this one here, coming up, let's see if it tries to jump into it. No. Okay, so it's not going to jump into it. Are we out of the area where it keeps doing that? Was there some major accident that got stuck in there where traffic had to reroute? And that's why it keeps jumping in that lane, because it thinks it needs to be rerouting to avoid a major accident, got stuck in the Google data? We just don't have enough information to know why it's doing that, and it could be that. highway in Texas. Sandia, Texas, right now. So between Sandia and Alice is where those issues are popping up. If anybody of Tesla is listening to that, y'all may want to check that area and drive it a few times and see what happens. Definitely see why it's not seeing these speed limit signs on these highways. And I see all these left-hand turnaround lanes, and I'm getting ready for just in case. Another parking area. Facilities there, but another 75 sign, nothing on the visualization. This area in Texas, all the way to South Padre Island, we've had a lot of cloud coverage for quite a while now. It's been very hazy, or a lot of sea fog hitting the island. A lot of mist from the Gulf. The salt builds up on the car pretty quickly. Jumping over. Here we come to another 75 mile per hour speed limit sign. Nothing showing up on the visualization at all. Just not seeing it. Video I did on this trip, I had times when I had the camera on, camera off, filming on, filming off. This one here, I'm just going to let it go full length. Just had it turned off during the supercharging. It's kind of good uploading these uncut like this, because then y'all see everything, even the dumb stuff it does. If y'all want to take time watching it, critiquing it. But no matter what, it is still more relaxing having the car do the driving. It does give me a little more freedom to glance around and see what all's going on. It is still being very safe, even though it does those little things. The sudden braking when it was trying to get back into could be a little jarring, but it was safe. Yeah, we got done with the supercharger. We engaged full self-driving right there in the parking space. So I have yet to touch the brake, the accelerator, or do any actual steering myself. When it got over to the left-hand lane, I just hit the turn signal, and that was enough to get it to go back where it should be. It is still staying in the left-hand lane. It's not moving out of the left-hand lane. We do have a decrease in speed limit here, so it goes from 75 to 70. We have speed limit signs on both sides of the road. It's not visualizing any of those, but undoubtedly it grabbed it from map data. So we're also dropping down to a 55 as well, and I don't know if it visualized that or not, but I am disengaging to get it to slow down, because we've got a number of police cars up here getting people who are going too fast, and I don't want to ticket myself. It really needs to slow down faster when the speed zones change like this. Go over to Waze and see what Waze has to say. Are we still in a 55? Yeah, we're still in a 55. I hate to do that because this should be accurate, but as we see, it doesn't like to see speed limit signs, especially over 65. We're now coming down to a 45. It sees that sign. It's not really slowing down anymore, so I'm just going to nudge it. Needs to slow down for speed limit signs in small towns. I guess that should be enough. Now we're coming down to a 35. So it is kind of braking, but I'm not sure if it's braking more for the light and the vehicles or for that speed limit. critical disengagements, more of a financial disengagement, not wanting a speeding ticket, going through a small town. We're 11 miles away from Three Rivers. That's where another supercharger is here in Texas. That was the one I used to use after Kingsville before they built the Alice one. And of course, that was when I had my standard range, which had a lot shorter range. We have a flashing lights for a school area zone that's 20 miles per hour. The car is doing 25. Does it know that we're in a school zone? I don't know. Is it because of the traffic? I don't know. Is there an easy way for Tesla to give us that data on the screen? Maybe. But that would just make way too much data for us to be looking at. It does kind of, break a little bit there at the intersection because it's waiting for that truck to clear the intersection. The car doesn't want to be stuck at a red light and stuck in the middle of the intersection. So it's going to wait until it's clear to get all the way across the intersection. Or it knows it's going to be clear if the vehicle's going smooth enough in front of us. It saw the 45 sign, visualized the 45 sign, and it is doing 52. Now we have a 55 speed limit sign here. It is visualizing it quite early, and it sees that, and it is doing the 55. It acknowledged it. There's a 70 speed limit sign. I saw nothing on the visualizations. It still thinks we're in a 55. It switched to the highway interstate mode so I can push it up to 70. Again, it's not seeing anything over 60, over 65 on these highways. Unsafe, it's annoying. Of course, this is not my entire trip, my entire journey. Once I get to San Antonio, then I'm going up to north of Austin, between Austin and Dallas. Unless I gotta go someplace else in San Antonio first, I don't know. I will find out when I get there. She never really gives me much detail ahead of time. I've been down here on South Padre Island, Texas, since COVID 2020. I've just been doing Uber and Lyft. I haven't been doing any of my IT work. I still have a lot of my tools back home in Louisiana. I really should make a trip back home and check the house, and grab some of my tools and stuff, and find someplace to put them here. If I'm going to stay in this area. It's exciting to see the Starships launch and what's going on at SpaceX, but it's also, kind of tedious. I can't spend all day long sitting over at SpaceX taking pictures all day long because I have to make money and make a living. So yeah, it makes it kind of hard to provide all the content that people will love to see. Just switched over the right-hand lane here. I'm not really sure why. I could have stayed in the left lane or in the middle lane. And it's now dropping down to, it's readjusting. It doesn't know it's still in a 75. Undoubtedly, I got some map data for the speed limit there and readjusted for that. Doing Uber and Lyft in the area, trying to make ends meet. I wish if I had the time to sit over at SpaceX. Here comes another 70, and it's not visualizing it. There's no gray skies behind, there's green trees, so it should be able to see it a little bit clearer. Up here, we start to see some of the refineries near Three Rivers. We're in Three Rivers. Getting closer to the interstate itself. But yeah, I mean, you have some guys on the other YouTube channels, they have a good income. Their channel might be making enough money, or they may already have enough money to afford to sit over there or something. But I don't have that type of income. I have to work every day to make ends meet. I used to have a lot of money. It all got kind of spent. And just trying to make ends meet now. I have been living in a hotel since 2020. I do find myself eating out way too much. But I'm not home enough to sit there and cook. With Uber and Lyft taking more and more out of every ride, it makes it harder and harder to make ends meet. If I had a car note, in other words, if I had a monthly payment on this vehicle, I would not be able to do Uber and Lyft to sustain that. Some of the current prices, the way they've come down and getting the prices down there, then yeah, you might be able to do it. I didn't finance any of my Teslas, I just paid cash for them. Okay, now we have a 55 sign. It actually sees it, it's visualizing it, it's showing it. It is no longer in the highway interstate mode. But we also see it in the highway interstate mode. When it's on the interstate, it does visualize it. Why it doesn't do that on the highways, I don't know. And the same for the 45. I saw both of them on both sides of the road. done work in some of these plants, not as a oil field worker or anything like that, just in IT, working on equipment, computers and stuff that are used in some of those plants. And some of those plants are really messy. I definitely wouldn't want to work that type of job as my full-time job. Trout trucking company, but it looks like they're carrying something that's flammable. But interesting name for a trucking company. I commend them for doing that job. I know a lot of them don't have much kind words to say to us Tesla owners because they are working in the oil field, and we are somehow a threat to their oil field. But oil is used for a lot of other things too besides gasoline. I do think this is an interesting trout towing company. Corpus Christi, Texas. It is visualizing all these other speed limit signs under 65 miles per hour. Here we are coming up to a 50 mile per hour speed limit sign. It's already adjusted, so I've got nav data for that, but then it started visualizing it. Now we're 75 miles from San Antonio, or 82 miles from my destination. Here we come to a 60 mile per hour speed limit sign. It will be visualizing it. Yep, it is right there. It sees it. It's adjusting. And now the next one up here is a 70. Will it see it? And no, nothing. It still thinks we're... Well, it looked like something popped up there at the very end. But after we passed. But it is now in the highway interstate mode. And it's braking kind of hard for this truck, so let me go ahead and tell it to get in the other lane. As it tries to figure out what it's going to do. It doesn't know where the truck's going. And of course the truck blowing the horn. It could have handled that a lot smoother. Still safe, but it could have handled it smoother. And naturally, yeah, the truck was pulling into that lane, but the car was not sure if the turn signal was on because it was going to go all the way over or not. So if the truck wanted to keep going over, then yeah, you need to brake for it. We don't know the intentions of the truck driver. Now, as a person, I would figure he's just taking his time getting into the lane. He's not going to go all the way over, and I would have passed him. But you'd never know. I've seen them make a left-hand turn, very wide left-hand turns. Why he was on the shoulder there, I don't know. Right now we're passing the Three Rivers. There's a supercharger here. If I pull up the chargers, it'll show it right there. Three Rivers. 5 stalls available out of the 8. And we got these cars acting kind of weird up here. That's only a 150 kilowatt supercharger there too. Car's already switched to 70, but we haven't seen the speed limit sign yet, so it's getting that from nav data. It's turned off its interstate mode, since we're not on the interstate yet. But we're coming up to the on-ramp, and we're now getting onto Interstate 37. It already has the speed set for 75. It's grabbing that from nav data for that area. We have kind of a slow-moving semi-truck here. We have a vehicle coming up on the left. Clear, but I still have it in chill mode, so I go, well, okay, it's going to pass. He's going slow enough that the chill mode has decided it's going to pass. Here we have a 75 mile per hour speed limit sign that we're passing around here. It's not showing up because the semi-truck's in the way. That's kind of what I was waiting for. But we already know it's 75, so it's good. Left lane is for passing only sign, so that means that we should not be staying in the left-hand lane unless we're passing. So technically right now the car should be getting back in the right-hand lane. But, okay, and it is. Changing lanes out of passing lane. So it seems to do that on the interstates, but not on the other highways, where it should be doing that as well. Of course, routing with no traffic data, which means the cell signal here is very poor, so the car is not able to get any data from that. The full self-driving does not require any cloud information. It's all on board, all on the car itself. No internet connection needed to do it. Visualizations is coming from what the computer on the car thinks the 8 cameras are seeing. It is not coming from a satellite link. The Starlink satellites are not sending video to the car of traffic around it. Also, we've been driving all day so far, since this morning, and still cloud cover everywhere. Haven't ran into some. Here's a 75. It's seeing it. It's visualizing it. It sees them on the interstates, unless it's being blocked by a semi-truck. The reason why I point out the block by the semi-truck, if it was using navigation data where the speed limit signs are and using that to display them there, then that's coming from map data. But since a semi-truck or a pickup truck can block the view of the speed limit sign and it not visualize that tells me it actually sees that there is a sign there, and it is visualizing it. It's not using OCR software to read it. In other words, it's not going to see this sign to say it's a rest area, but it is saying that something has matched these patterns, that this is 65 or 75 or whatever speed limit sign. I still think if you take a 75 mile per hour speed limit sign, you change it to 78, I'm not sure what's going to show on there. It may not recognize it at all because it doesn't match anything in its database. And since it's not using OCR software, optical character recognition software, it's not physically reading the sign itself. Car does, the camera sees the rectangular sign, and then it's like, okay, what one does this look like? And it tries to match it up with one that it already knows, and that's what it is. What could Tesla do to make this full self-driving better? I can tell you that right now. Fix the navigation issues. The nav data. I mean, the car doesn't randomly jump into every left-hand only turn lane. Just in certain areas. There's something in that nav data causing that. There's something in that nav data saying this is the appropriate action in this area. Not seeing the speed limit signs on these highways that would help too. As far as the car's decision making, watching other vehicles and doing things, it's so far doing very good. It's being safe. Everything that I am getting that is issues is not, in my opinion, the full self-driving software's problems. It's routing data, navigation data. And I keep trying to think of it. Every time I have these little bitty issues, little bitty problems, what is it? And it all comes down to map data. The car should preference what it sees and what it's supposed to do over that data. That also means it needs to be more spot on for these speed limit signs. And in areas where there are no speed limit signs, it would really be beneficial to grab a little bit of accurate map data for that area. leg right now. Here's another 75 sign, but the semi is blocking it, so it did not visualize it. At least it's not a speed difference of what we're already in. But that was a second example of how it's not showing the speed limit signs when it's being blocked. Recognizing the school zone signs. That is not very easy, and I say that for a particular reason, is that it's not uniformed. Even in the same county or in the same town, their school zone signs are a little different. It's like they don't have a standardized school zone sign. It's not consistent, and that makes it a little bit harder for any automated systems, because it has to recognize, oh, this is different than the other ones. Why do they have that here? Or why is it hanging up in the middle of the road, above the road? Why is it some of them just have the school zone with the hours? Why do some have flashing lights for the school zone? Some have digital speed limit signs that pop up during the school zone time. Yeah, they're not uniform. And when the school zone ends, it's not always the same proper signage for the ending of the school zone. That makes it harder for an automated system. And yeah, I see the windshield wipers are going off and there's no rain. It is kind of a gray sky. And we still have no traffic data. The cell service is really bad out here. Of vehicles. I mean, any swarms of insects. I would hope I don't run any swarms of vehicles. I don't hear any tapping the windshield, so I don't think it's a bug hitting near the cameras. It's just this gloomy gray skies that thinks it might be raining. Especially when it's a very open sky. We have some trees over here, some trees over there, not much else, so the majority of it is gray sky, so the sensor is not picking up any changes in light, so it kind of thinks it might be raining or a light mist. some people seem to think that there's some sort of camera watching the entire windshield. No, it's a little bitty spot up around here where it's sensing for rain by the light. So it's not looking at the entire windshield and everything. So if we get some spray that only hits this side of the windshield, it's not going to trigger it because it didn't hit near the rain sensor. Yellow signs up here for construction area. As you see, the car is still in the left-hand lane. I'm going to tell it to get back over because it needs to stay out of the passing lane. I don't mind it being in the far left lane when we got a lot of on-ramps. That way it doesn't have to keep switching back and forth. Faster traffic. To do 79, it's only doing 70. Why is it getting into this lane? I don't know. You're now on the shoulder. And it doesn't want to cross the solid line. It's trying to pass on this side. Come on, car. Get off the shoulder. Just kind of a dumb move. It does say that lane ends. And it was a dotted line, like it was an actual lane it could use. Shoulder on the road. So I'm wondering what that is. I mean, the visualization is showing the solid line. I had a hard time getting it to get back over because of the solid line. that again. vehicles, maybe. So maybe the right hand is strictly for emergency vehicles. So to watch that lettering again. Hopefully it shows up again. Time the windshield wipers came on when it really was supposed to. So we do have a little bit of precipitation, but very minor, nothing heavy. Nothing that I would actually use the windshield wipers for. And it looked like the visualization's paused there for some reason, the UI. EVAC, lane EVAC. And that was a hurricane scene. That's a hurricane evacuation lane. Okay. So that makes sense. So that lane is actually used to help move traffic in if they have to evacuate from a hurricane. We are coming from Corpus Christi, and we are heading northwest, so that makes plenty of sense to me. Living in Louisiana for 23 years, I have lost count on how many hurricanes have been in Louisiana. Hey Siri, how many hurricanes hit Louisiana since 1996 to 2024?
I can't help you with that.
Well, Siri is completely useless. Let's go to chat. We'll go to the audio chat. It makes it a little bit easier. Hey, chat, good buddy. I want to know. I've been living in Louisiana.
Hey there. What's on your mind today?
Okay. I have been living in Louisiana since 1998. How many hurricanes has there been that hit the state of Louisiana from 1998 to 2024?
From 1998 to 2024, Louisiana has experienced several impactful hurricanes. Some of the notable ones include Katrina in 2005, Rita in 2005, Gustav in 2008, Isaac in 2012, Laura in 2020, Delta in 2020, Zeta in 2020, and Ida in 2021. There have been others, but these are some of the most significant in terms of damage and intensity.
Okay, but I want to know the total number of hurricanes.
To get the precise total number of hurricanes that hit Louisiana from 1998 to 2024, I'll need to look that up to ensure accuracy. Let me check that for you. Just a moment. From 1998 to 2024, Louisiana was hit by at least 29 named storms that reached hurricane strength at some point during their lifespan. These include significant hurricanes like Katrina in 2005, Rita in 2005, Gustav in 2008, and Ida in 2021. Each of these storms left a notable impact on the state, contributing to a long history of hurricane activity that has frequently affected Louisiana.
Thank you. Okay, so there you have it. Louisiana, in about 24 years, have had 29 hurricanes. Well, 26 years. Yeah, I lost count. She had, what, 3 big storms in 2020? And then 2021 as well? Yeah, 3 big ones, Delta, Zeta, Laura. I mean, That's when I came out to South Padre Island. But Louisiana's nonstop hurricane is kind of crazy. Of course, in the Midwest, we have all those tornadoes and stuff. A lot of people's homes are damaged or destroyed in that. I did not look to see how many deaths there were or if there were any. We can always ask. Hey, recently in Nebraska, there's been a major tornadoes up there with a lot of houses destroyed. How many people have died this year in 2024? Just searching the internet.
As of the latest reports from the recent tornado outbreak in Nebraska, there have been no fatalities reported.
Wow.
The tornadoes did cause significant damage, destroying over 100 homes and resulting in some injuries. But thankfully, no deaths have been reported.
Well, that's very good to hear. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could provide the information. If you have any more questions or need further updates, feel free to ask.
No problem. I'm currently driving to San Antonio in my Tesla. I'm driving the latest full self-driving version 12.3.6, and I'm actually recording a video right now. What would you like to tell my audience your opinions of Tesla's full self-driving?
Hello, everyone watching. Tesla's full self-driving FSD technology is a cutting-edge system designed to handle a variety of driving tasks. As of the latest version, it aims to improve safety and convenience by automating more of the driving process. However, it's important to note that despite the name, Tesla emphasizes that the FSD system requires active supervision and is not fully autonomous. Users should remain engaged and ready to take control at any moment. The system has been a subject of both praise for its innovative features and criticism, particularly concerning safety and regulatory compliance. It's also part of a broader conversation about the future of autonomous vehicles and their impact on society, including potential reductions in accidents caused by human error and changes in how we think about transportation. It's exciting technology, certainly a glimpse into the future of driving, but it also comes with responsibilities and a need for cautious and informed use. Drive safely and stay informed about the capabilities and limitations of your vehicle's technology.
Thank you. Currently, Dan Odell seems to think that Tesla's full self-driving is very dangerous and always trying to kill us and run over kids. Is anything that he says actually factual or just stuff he's making up?
Dan Odell's views on Tesla's full self-driving technology represent a critical and highly cautious stance, which is shared by some others, but not universally accepted. The debate around the safety of Tesla's full self-driving system is quite complex. While there have been reported incidents and safety concerns associated with the system, Tesla argues that their technology is designed to reduce accidents caused by human error. Critics, like Odell, often focus on the potential risks and unresolved issues in the technology, suggesting that the system can sometimes behave unpredictably. These criticisms are important as they push for improvements and tighter regulations. However, it's also significant to recognize the advancements Tesla has made in automated driving technologies. It's crucial for users and observers to understand both the capabilities and limitations of such systems, and to follow all safety guidelines issued by the manufacturer and regulatory bodies. Monitoring ongoing updates and reviews from credible sources will also provide a more balanced perspective on the safety and efficacy of Tesla's full self-driving technology.
Do you think my car is out to try to kill me, like Dan says it is?
No, your Tesla with full self-driving technology is not out to harm you. The system is designed
Well, Dan claims that the car wants to run over children. Do you think the car will want to run over children?
No, the Tesla car does not have any intention or desire to harm anyone, including children. The full self-driving technology in Teslas is designed with safety as a primary goal, using sensors and algorithms to detect and avoid objects, pedestrians, and other vehicles on the road. It's crucial to remember that like any technology, especially one that involves automation in complex environments like driving, there can be limitations and errors. Tesla's systems are continuously updated to improve safety and performance. But it is still recommended that drivers remain attentive and ready to take control when necessary. The idea that the car would want to run over anyone is a misunderstanding of how automated driving systems are designed and function.
Well, thank you very much. Do you really think that Tesla's robotaxis will be coming out anytime soon and we'll see Teslas driving with nobody in them?
Tesla's robotaxi concept is part of Elon Musk's vision for a fully autonomous ride-sharing network, which has been discussed for a few years now. Musk has suggested that a network of self-driving Tesla vehicles could be operational at some point, potentially revolutionizing the concept of car ownership and ride-sharing. However, the timeline for the rollout of such robotaxis remains uncertain. While Musk has made predictions about their imminent deployment in the past, actual implementation has been delayed several times. Regulatory hurdles, safety concerns, and the technological challenges of achieving full autonomy in driving conditions are significant factors that could affect the timeline. It's an exciting prospect, but it's also a complex one that depends on advances in technology, regulatory approval, and public acceptance. If and when Tesla manages to overcome these challenges, we could indeed start seeing Teslas driving autonomously without anyone in them, fundamentally changing the landscape of transportation. For now, it's a wait-and-see situation as the technology and regulations evolve.
If you, now this is a big if you had the ability to control a car yourself, do you think you would be a good driver using all those cameras to see what's going on and figuring out what to do?
That's an interesting thought. As an AI, if I had the capability to control a car, I would technically be able to process inputs from cameras and sensors very quickly. Much like how self-driving technologies work, I'd use algorithms to make decisions based on those inputs, aiming for safety and efficiency. While I could potentially handle routine driving under normal conditions, well due to rapid data processing and adherence to program rules, the real challenge would come with unusual or advances that require a deeper understanding of human behavior and nuanced decision-making.
So do you think we need to have an AI that is capable to understand the psyche of a human to be able to drive around other humans, since humans can be unpredictable?
Absolutely. Understanding the context for AI, especially in applications like autonomous driving.
Of course, I'm in a bad cell zone, so it's having a hard time connecting to the internet. This has been kind of fun.
Involves a level of situational awareness and decision-making that can anticipate changes, such as the child running into the street, unusual traffic patterns, or even the gestures of a traffic officer. The more an AI can understand and interpret the context of its environment, the better it can make safe and effective decisions. This is why ongoing research and development in AI for autonomous vehicles often focuses on improving these capabilities, aiming for a system that can handle the full complexity of driving as competently as, or even more so than, a human driver.
Have you looked at Dr. Know-It-All's YouTube channel and seen what he had to say? thank you very much, and you can quit listening now.
You're welcome. Feel free to reach out.
I'm not sure if that would turn it off or not.
Have a great drive to San Antonio.
No, it doesn't, so I'll have to end it there. Yeah, and Dr. Know-It-All has a great YouTube channel. Definitely check his videos out. But yeah, that was kind of interesting to see what an AI's point of view is on an AI. What it thinks about the driving. I'll probably make those a couple little shorts. Chill to average. Now you see it's going to be passing this vehicle. The chill, average, and assertive does change how it behaves, at least for passing vehicles, keeping distance, and what have you. Chill is a more relaxed, okay, you know, maybe 10, 15 miles slower than the speed limit, it will not pass. Average, a little more closer, less leniency on slower vehicles. It did move out of the left-hand lane, like it should have, which is good. And like I say, on the interstate here, it has no issue seeing the speed limit signs. On the interstate. Highways, it's different. I don't know why. The road is pretty much the same. The signs are the same. So again, there's something in the navigation data or something which really makes no sense at all. It should still be looking for speed limit signs at all times, because you never know when there might be construction up there and there'll be a temporary speed limit sign. It needs to see that, needs to recognize it, needs to adjust for it. Here we are coming to another 75 mile per hour speed limit sign right here. It's visualizing it there, and we're already in a 75, so it already knows, but it's visualizing those on the interstate. On that highway earlier, it only visualized one. All day long on highways, it's only visualized one speed limit sign. On a gray, overcast day. Not heavy rain or anything like that. No poor weather. No harsh, hard, bright lighting in the way. Should be easily seen. Now when I get to the destination, I should have 58 miles of range left. That's good. Enough to get to another supercharger before I continue the rest of the trip. When I left, it was anticipating 13-14% at my destination. Now I'm at 22%. So yeah, it's done a good job at adjusting that. Elevations changed. Everything else will be stuff I have plugged in the cigarette lighter. I do have a 70 watt adapter here for USB-C to charge my laptop. So it's keeping my MacBook fully charged. That's consuming some energy. It's saying it costs me about 3.5 miles. So little things like that does eat some of your energy, which is expected. I'm choking there. So let me look at my stats and see what my efficiency is right now. I am doing 101% efficiency on my drive at this current time, which is very good. And that's when my AC set is 68 degrees. It is 81 degrees outside, so the car doesn't have to fight too hard to keep everything cool. It's not overly hot, and it's not freezing. So we have, I think, kind of optimal weather. A little bit of a mist from rain, nothing bad. We are 28 or 10 miles from Interstate I-410. Pretty close to San Antonio. Some interesting places. Just looking at this road here, I would love to kind of figure out what's happening out here in this area. Hands-on wellness and massage therapy. It's kind of an interesting street pattern there. Shadows in the dark. School. Okay. Back over there, the car was trying to get around me. Yeah, I've never seen a street pattern like that before on a map. It almost looks like what you might see in the crop circles and stuff. Looks like it might be a fun place to try full self-driving and see how it handles those neighborhoods. We're technically in San Antonio, so it's the outskirts of San Antonio. Kind of weird seeing it saying San Antonio when I'm used to like Harlingen and Port Isabel and what have you. We got 25 miles to go. So San Antonio takes up a big piece of area. We're ending up going the north side of San Antonio. Pay attention to just how big the entire cities are, like Lafayette and what have you. Sorry about my cough, it's kind of bugging me as well. Oddly, we still have no traffic data. So I don't know why it's not getting traffic data. If we go up here, we got LTE connection. It is sending data back and forth to the TeslaFSD app. And if we go under settings, online routing, trip planner. Quite a while, been getting no traffic data. Which I would kind of like traffic data, especially when coming up to San Antonio. Well, I'm gonna have to say, judging by what I'm seeing, it is getting traffic data. You see where there's some slow ups. So why is it saying no traffic data? I don't understand that. Passing lane, which it should do, which is good. Yes, I do have a plug share charge point on my phone. Replug, to find different charging options. Have I ever used them for my car? No. Well, plug share once, just to find a free place to plug in on the beach or what have you. A slow charger, level 1. That was about the only time. But as far as trips, no. The Tesla's done a great job mapping out everything I need to find, or telling me where to go to charge and everything. So I've never had to use a third-party app to figure that out. A better route planner does a very good job. It'd be kind of nice to be able to implement that into the navigation of the Tesla itself. But I understand Tesla keeping their system a closed system. 70-mile-per-hour speed limit sign, it sees it, it visualizes it, it's showing it. Interstate, of course. I'm going to tell it to slow down a little bit. Because I'm an old man, I like to drive slow. Things I would love to see, I do Uber and Lyft. I would love it if the Uber app would let me share directly to the Tesla. navigation. Whenever Tesla ride shares become a thing, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be in the app. It'd be also nice if it was in the UI here, where I can just say, I'm available, I'm online, accept ride, right here on the screen, instead of having to go through the phone, go through the app here. Let's do it all on the screen, handle it all here. It would be really nice to be able to do that, instead of jumping between different apps, between the phone and this and what have you. And no, this is not something I installed myself. I mean, the tilt and mount for this, to be able to tilt it and move it, I did install that. But this comes with the car, the screen. I cannot tell you how many times I give someone a ride, Uber and Lyft. They think this is provided by Uber or Lyft, or it's my own iPad that I mounted there. No, this is a part of the car. This is where you control everything. The air conditioner vent directions and everything is controlled through here. This is our interface. This is our dashboard. This is our entertainment system. When parked, we can watch Netflix, Disney Channel, Hulu, or they removed Disney Channel. There's still ways to get to it. There's a 70-mile-per-hour speed limit sign blocked by the semi-truck, not visualized. Understandable. It already knows we're in a 70, so it's not critical. It's not a speed change. I would love to have one blocked that is a speed change to see if it pulls the data from navigation information instead. Now this one here has a speed limit sign above the road, up here. That is not being visualized. So it's looking for a particular shape and location for the speed limit signs. Even though that one was mounted above the road, it did not see that. Interchange is exit 166 for west I-410. We're currently on 410 in San Antonio still. And has it been a perfect, smooth, eventless drive? No. Have I had any safety takeovers? No. Have I had any major disengagements? No. Very little disengagements. Very safe drive. ChatGPT just reaffirmed me that the car is not out to kill me. Now, I don't know. The car is AI. ChatGPT's AI. They could be scheming. I don't know. It could be a global thing they're working on, and they're just waiting for the day. Watch out for Skynet. I will start worrying if I see Tesla bots picketing for better work hours. Here we are coming to 70 mile per hour speed limit sign. This pickup truck might wind up blocking it. Yes, it did, so it didn't visualize it. Since the pickup truck was in the way. But again, it's not a different speed limit sign, so sadly it didn't give me the chance to test if it's grabbing nav data. Down in Texas, they love to use these concrete walls to block off work areas and stuff. Somebody was telling me they thought that was odd. They've never heard of them doing that. Of course, I've also had some crazy people try to tell me that is used to herd people towards the FEMA camps. You got a lot of these conspiracy theorists out there. Potty in the middle of nowhere. There's a work area, so here we have a 60 mile per hour speed limit sign. This semi truck is blocking it. So we just passed a 60 mile per hour speed limit sign, so it was not visualized. It still thinks we're in a 70. So it's not getting all the time the speed from nav data. I'm slowing it down because it is 60 now. But thanks to that semi truck blocking that sign, it did not know, it did not readjust, so it's not pulling from navigation data in this area. Hopefully we'll see another sign, especially since this other interstate is merging. We should have another speed limit sign coming up here. Hopefully no one's blocking it. On interstates like this, they really need to put those signs on both sides of the roads like they do in some areas. That way it's not being blocked by vehicles. The other option was above the road like back there, but the car does not recognize the speed limit signs above the road like that. I think in some instances, for some people, the full self-driving makes driving safer. If people have a little difficulty reading signs and stuff, I think they slow down way too much trying to read a sign to see if that is their exit or where they need to go. They may be reading the sign and trying to refer back to their app or their phone or something to see which one it is. Now here we are coming up to a 60 mile per hour speed limit sign. I'm going to try to keep this truck from blocking it. It is visualizing it. It is not a permanent sign, and it did adjust. That's a temporary 60 mile per hour speed limit sign. It did physically see that sign and adjust. saw the sign. Now, I'm not saying it's using OCR and reading that sign. It's just matching it to known signs. And this is what it looks like, so this is what it should be. And that could be, like I say, the quickest way to match is percentage. A 55 mile per hour speed limit sign, those numbers are going to take up a certain percentage of the total space between black and white. Or you can just look at certain points on that sign and say, yeah, it's black in that area, black in that area, black in that area. So it's probably this. Let's not look at the full number. You can just look at certain areas. As long as every place uses the uniform standards, it should recognize it. And that's one of the key things, is to have all the roads and stuff, signs and stuff, uniform. All the road markings should be uniformed. Unlike the hotel that kind of makes up their parking lot stripes, that confuses the car because they're not standard stripes. They don't know what they're trying to do. Another 60 sign, sees it, visualizes it. We're into 60, it knows. Yeah, like I say, someone who is kind of slow at reading, maybe because they have dyslexia or some other problems, or they're vision impaired, full self-driving really will come in handy for them, where it can, know what exit to take. And we've all been there. We've all been driving, and we see the person, really slowing down, not sure if that's their exit they're supposed to go into, or they get in the exit and all of a sudden they jerk back because it was the wrong exit. I've even seen people in Houston on the interstate come to a complete stop and back up to take their exit. Now, full self-driving is not going to do that. It won't back up for one. Some of the earlier versions may have tried to come to a stop when missing the exit. Very rarely. It usually handles it very well on the interstate. Here we have a 55 sign, and it sees it, it visualizes it, it changed it. And the car is getting over. Just making sure that pickup truck is not going to try to come over. This is kind of interesting little loop here. Kind of a tight little loop. I've seen people back up on the interstate when they're missing their exits. And in all honesty, I'm not familiar with this area at all. I would have a hard time trying to figure out exactly where to go here. I like the confidence level of the Tesla. It's doing 72, or wants to do 72 in a 65. It's getting around this vehicle's good. It knows where it's going, and I'm sure it's trying to get up in front of this van here. Yeah, it's braking. It's signaling to get over. So if it's going to be able to get over in front of these vehicles, I don't know. trying to get over. It's getting over. And it should be all the way over, but it's missing that. So it's going to have to reroute because it couldn't get over in time. People just not letting me over. It's going to have to reroute again. I'm giving it some gas here. I should adjust it. I'm trying to do 55. That was my mistake there. For complete total different things. I did give it a little gas back there trying to help it out a little bit. Like I say, I'm not familiar with this area at all, but it's good that the car is helping reroute to still get to my destination, just a slightly different way. Now, if I would have had it on chill mode, it probably would have gotten behind that other van earlier to go ahead and go slower and not be as aggressive in trying to pass it. So it might not have missed that turn that it wanted to take if I had it in chill mode. But yeah, there's a good example of it missing its turn and not coming to a stop in the interstate and rerouting like it should, which is the way a person is supposed to drive. Now, I don't live here in San Antonio. I hardly ever come here, and I don't know this area at all. But the car is handling everything very smoothly. as we've seen on the interstate, with those signs that are being blocked by semi trucks and what have you, it is actually watching the signs. It does see the signs in those instances on interstates. Highways, now here we have a 20-mile-per-hour flashing, school zone. This is kind of standard, so it shouldn't really go more than 25 here. Even though it's showing a speed limit 35, I think we should adjust that for school zone speed limit. And it does feel like it is trying to keep it down around that 20 mile per hour. So here it seems like it is handling the school zone speed limit properly. Even though we have a good gap here, it could speed up. And I think we're now out of the school zone. Trying to pass this car in front of us. Technically as an emergency vehicle up ahead, an ambulance with its lights on. I think technically it should be saying emergency vehicle detected, but if you notice the lights, they're not completely uniform. We got red, yellow, and blue. Other places it's just red and blue. Some places it's red, white, and blue. I've seen others using red, yellow, white, and blue. So for the car to identify an emergency vehicle, it needs consistency. There's too many different variations of it. Depending on the area and the type of vehicle. Now, if we do all the training mainly in California, is it only going to see California emergency vehicles? And you see the car is waiting for this vehicle. I don't know where he is. Okay, he's trying to go all the way over. And there was no road from over there. Where was he coming from? So he was in the far left lane, worked his way all the way over, and there's very odd. Sees the person there by the pole, laying against the pole. I would be getting over to the left-hand lane right about now, and I think the car may be doing that in a second. Yep, it is. So, not too much off of what I would be doing. But then again, like I said, I'm not sure where I'm going here, so I would do it earlier because I need more time to look. Okay, is it this shopping center? Okay. Yes, the shopping center. So it's pulling into the shopping center. And where is it going to go? It's just going straight here. Going in between these two cones, or well, okay, I'm going to take over here because it doesn't know, even though the little GPS is kind of showing it going behind the building, which I don't think is right. But I'm going to take over here and let's try a auto park near my destination here. We'll end the trip. It's seeing all the parking spaces, so I'm going to see if I can find one and choose it. Let's see. That's a handicap. It needs to be able to recognize the handicap spaces. So that's one of those is the parking spot, the other one's not. I am going to choose that one there and tell it to start and let it park. We have no vehicles behind us. It's very slow. They really need to speed this up and improve the confidence. It feels like a student driver learning how to park for the first time. And it is done. I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much, and hopefully I can upload all these.